Hi, long
Hey.
time no see. We are continuing our brilliant, brilliant conversation about manifestation. Woohoo. In the last one, we learned about Martina's process, and I think I'm very interested in knowing, Than, what is your
Yeah,
process?
me too. Me too.
We already
Right.
started half, right? I was saying I was using the affirmations more for detecting what is not
Hmm.
functioning or what belief is not functioning. And
But,
I
like,
think this
okay,
is,
even before that, how do you decide you want to manifest anything? Or, like, if you're going, I want to manifest, what do you do?
I don't even think I really ever did this.
Ah,
It was more, but I think I never called it manifestation. I was more like I have certain goals in life,
Okay.
or
Mhm.
and then I was more working on the goal, and then I was kind of really, it's more a really rational way of breaking down the steps to the goal. Like, I mean, when it was about becoming a doctor, it was clear, right? When you have to do be good at school and then study medicine and then get the job, and then for I wanted to be like the emergency doctor. So what do you need? What kind of skills do you need to get there? And then I just got to okay, you have to apply those skills. It's more really totally rational thing. And at the same time, it was okay. You still want to have your musical theater performer career, maybe. So I was kind of okay. If you want to do this, what kind of skills do you need here? So I'm really just, I think, goal focused.
But did you ever like manifest or like did you manifest or visualize something about like an audition or stuff like this,
Ah,
or
yeah.
if you wanted to have like a certain role, or when I go into this musical thing?
Yeah, because yeah, going to the musical thing was maybe more about testing my inner beliefs, right? Because being a doctor was clear way, and something clearly achievable for me. And when it came to the musical stuff, well, there were those thoughts of, oh, but you didn't have dance class as a kid, or like
Of course,
you're
yeah.
getting old because musical theater performers are young and such stuff, right? So I still searched for a process to get into this. And I'm more the type of visualizing stuff, but not doing it. It comes not more naturally. I mean, you may call it daydreaming, right? But I just visualize
Yeah,
this
it's the
way
same. Yeah.
somehow.
Mm.
daydreaming is a visualization
It
technique.
is.
Yes,
Like
it is.
it
It is.
is, right? And then, well, and then I just got into the dance classes and the singing classes and the training and all, and did the first workshops at like schools for this and academies for this, and talking concretely about people about like problems with age or something like that. And it was like, oh, as long as you look young, don't worry so much. Doing what you need to do. This was really the
Asian
answer.
privilege.
The producer, she was just telling me, well, you look young. Just keep doing your work. And so it was really about doing your work again. Yeah. But still, yeah, sure. Being a perfectionist, you have your doubts. Yeah. Like, well, they could be singing better or something. Um, I kept doing the visualization, actually. I was visualizing and at some point, well, just doing the whole process,
Yeah.
getting my profile done, getting the profile pictures done, everything that you need to apply for auditions. Same thing this. And but when I went to auditions, I kind of tried to let go of the outcome
Okay.
and just getting into this process of auditioning first, because you have to have audition training also. You
Yeah,
need
of
to get
course.
used to the situation of being auditioned. And as I said, somehow this thing with Miss Saigon happened, yeah, and well, then COVID happened, but um, rationally, you would never have expected someone who didn't train for this from childhood on, or at least after school directly, and working full time as a doctor at the same time to go through the whole training process and get the audition for Miss Saigon. Actually, you wouldn't think it,
And
right?
succeed, please don't forget.
But somehow I was just convinced that if I do everything I need to do, it's going to
There is
happen.
no other option. So there is no other option. If you do everything right, then the
Yeah.
result has to show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it worked out. Till COVID happened. but
COVID, stupid COVID. My
and well,
question
still,
is,
it was a decision at this point, right? Because I could have been deciding to sign up still. And because, like, when COVID ended or when the theaters opened again, they opened the show, right? They did the show. Or the process of you have to do the rehearsals and everything before, right? And the training. But at that point, I actually decided, okay, you're needed as a doctor. So I actually decided couldn't know how long it's going to take with COVID.
Yeah.
And back then, it was my decision to get back into my job,
So your
do what
impact, you
I did.
basically decided your impact would be higher to work as a
Yeah,
doctor than to be a musical performer.
yeah. At
Yeah.
that point, clearly, right? Because at that point, you couldn't do anything as a musician, a singer, or whatever, an artist. You were just, yes. And my impact was way higher at that moment, being a doctor.
and knowing who you are, you would have not forgiven yourself if you had maken that choice at that point. I feel like you would have taken it very personally that you were not
Yeah.
using your skills to save people's lives at that time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Because it's a really valuable profession after all. Yeah.
It is, it
And
is.
something not everyone is lucky enough to study, yeah,
Yeah.
even if they want to. So it was kind of, I just had to get back to my work, save people,
Yeah.
and the music stuff later. So it was sure still okay. If it's meant to me, if for me, then there will be a moment at some other point in my life where the music thing happens.
So you don't like sit out and go like, oh, I want to manifest this in 15 seconds.
No, definitely not. And see, I mean, you cannot just manifest to be. You have to
You
get the
can
skills.
manifest a gig. You can manifest a person who
Yes.
helps you to like be on stage. This is what you can manifest. I
Yeah.
truly believe you can manifest this. You can manifest the opportunity.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
you
Yes.
don't do
Exactly.
anything training, like then it's you. And if you are brave enough to do it without any training, then it's like a one-time thing. Yeah.
You know, maybe you are. I'm not saying you're not. Exactly. So, but recognize the fact that you might crash, and that's also okay. Then you can keep working on it, and you
Yeah.
like the whole point is you still have to do it.
Yeah.
There is a whole point of doing it.
Yeah, I mean, but at some point I just realized back then it was not so important for me at that moment, right? When COVID hit, it was way more important for me to get back into my job and to
Yeah.
do what I
Yeah.
could do to have the impact there. And I think it also shows at that moment if your dream is really that big enough at that moment, so you would do everything to manifest this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for me, at that moment, it was kind of no, no, no. I have something else to do.
And I like the fact that it didn't take away your decision, basically.
Mm,
You still
no,
decided based on, like, it was still your decision.
it
Yeah.
It
was.
wasn't
It
like you
still was.
decided you something else before and you can't go back. You can still go back to auditioning. You still have that,
True.
but you still
Yeah,
have this, and it's your decision on what you're choosing to do
yeah,
rather than,
yeah,
life forcing you or whatever. Yeah.
yeah. It
So you
was
don't
just
know.
like COVID was showing me. Oh, okay. Now decide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes things happen in our life which force us to come up with a decision.
Mm,
That is why they always say everything is an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Like it literally can't seem like it in the moment, but it literally is. And then, Than, do you use those techniques like scripting, etc. as well, or is it mostly just affirmations and visualization for you?
I actually don't script a lot.
Hmm.
Actually, I'm not a scripting type of person. I'm really visualizing.
Hmm.
I'm using like meditations, and then I visualize.
Ah, okay. So you
I
use
really don't script.
meditations as well.
Yeah, I do think. But the meditation is on the one hand for getting kind of emotional distance
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
yeah, because then I can just shift a bit in my, and it's ways heightening your awareness and for getting more. I mean, this is science as well. It's heart brain coherence. Yeah,
Of course,
it's
yeah.
about getting the parasympathetic nervous system to work to calm certain patterns that our nervous system has in the sympathetic nervous system. Yeah, we also, it's just the way life goes now in the modern days. Yeah, we are more in this active part, always like fight and flight mode,
Yeah.
or too many impressions coming to us,
Yeah. Yeah.
everything. And just for like strengthening the parasympathetic nervous system, meditation is great. Yeah, and just so I use it from a science point of view, but also just yeah to get more aware of things, mindful, and this again helps me to like distinguish between emotions that are connected to beliefs, and then again to see okay what are your goals. So where do you want to go?
I love it. It gives you clarity as well on what it actually needs to be. Awesome. Anything else you want to add? I feel like you went through it very quickly. You might be doing more tools. I have a feeling you do.
Maybe
And you can always
not.
come back to it, but
Maybe not consciously. I'm not sure. Because 90% of us is still in the subconscious mind, right?
it really is. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's true. How do you use meditations, Martina? You mentioned you meditate twice a day.
Yeah, I actually do TM, Transcendental Meditation,
Okay.
because it also helps release the blockages. Yeah, it's a very calm method of meditating, and I personally don't like those guided meditations or visualizations because like it like somehow distracts me when they start like giving their advice. I like do this, and I do it 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening every day.
What is a transcendental meditation?
Transcendental meditation is where you learn the technique. Basically, you have a mantra, your own mantra.
Okay.
It's basically one word, yeah, and you do it just sitting upright. You can sit on the floor, you can sit on a chair, you can sit on the sofa, wherever. You just sit. Then you like close your eyes and start saying the mantra in your mind, and then thoughts will come up. And whenever you realize the thoughts, then you go back to your mantra. And the goal is clearly to be in phases where you don't have the mantra and don't have any thoughts. So they're like this is the state of mind you want to reach.
Blank.
But every thought which comes up like is kind of a blockage you have in your system still, and you release them. If it's about fear or anger or aggression or whatever comes to your mind. And it's a very soft way of doing it, and I like it. It's the best way of meditating for me. So because I started with those guided meditations, as like most people do, I think. And
Do you choose your own mantra, or is
no,
it
you get it from your teacher.
Ah, okay, so you
Ah,
find it
okay.
out.
So they kind of feel which your mantra, which is the right mantra for you,
I
and you
got that
don't
as a kid. I
and you
remember
don't
now.
like tell it to anyone. So no one knows except you and your teacher, of course. And yeah, so this is like silent sitting. I think is harder because when you like, of course, you get the thoughts and then you focus on your breathing. But with the mantra, it's for me it's easier. It's actually easier and it's more fun. I know it sounds weird, but it's really it's like I miss it when I don't do it when I can't do it like in the evening, because sometimes I'm very like lots of things to do, and then I realize, oh, I did not meditate, and then I kind of miss it. Yeah.
I
And it's
remember
also
when we were
new.
together and you didn't get time to meditate. You were like, girl, I have to meditate.
Yeah, that was kind of cute.
Yeah, I really miss it. Yeah. Sometimes I forget it. There are days like not a lot, but in the evening
Yeah.
sometimes when it's really when I come home and then I have to do whatever, and then I forget it, and then it's also okay. but it's really helpful for me personally. It's really helpful.
Yay!
Yeah. So what's manifestation for you, Ankita? How do you do it?
Oh yeah, I forgot that I'm supposed to. Completely was so engrossed in the conversation. So, being who I am, I have to dabble, I have to try everything, and I have to do what works in the moment and then be like, this
Yeah.
is bullshit, move on. So, so I try everything. I've done different things for different areas of my life. I don't like Than said she has goals and stuff. I just see what is needed next and what can I do for it, kind in a way. So these days, what I do is I work with Soraya. She's somebody who teaches a lot about energy work and manifestation to me. She's the one who's talking about the energy energy centers being blank with human design and all as well, that I was
Yeah.
mentioning in the last podcast as well, right? So she taught this meditation, which is super cool. It basically it grounds you in energy. So what you do is you basically use all the nine centers as per human design. You ground them, you cleanse them, you manage the energy in your system, you get connected to source, you protect yourself and the people around you. You go into your pineal gland inside and you recreate the whole thing. You anchor yourself and you put up screens, and in those screens you can do whatever you need. So you can cleanse yourself, you can just put it in screen. You don't like something, you like something, you want to create something. So basically, if you ground those screens and you bring up whatever needs to come out, or you just ask the screen to do whatever is needed, and you're like, I'm going to sleep, screen, do your work. When I'm in too much pain sometimes, so the I think the very important thing to mention here is I feel very deeply and very intensely, and I feel it in my body's every iota of my cell. Like it's almost never my things either. Like as an empath, I tend to absorb so much from others. I'm so much better at it now as well, but it's just too much for me a lot of times. So I need a sense that will cleanse everything that is not mine from me before I can even get a clarity about what is it actually that I want, what
Yeah.
is it actually that is mine, what is my feelings to process, right? So I need this exercise wherein all of this can be cleared, and then I use that to that gives me spaces. Then thoughts come up, emotions come up, feelings come up, and whatever needs to be dealt with, even beliefs and all, can be kind of put into the screen and stuff. What this allows for is I don't have to force anything, so a lot of it emerges out of me, and it creates a safe container for me to be able to do it. So a lot of the times I use that as the meditation, and you can literally use it for anything. The screens can be brought up, so it can be your conscious things, your unconscious things. If you don't want those things to exist, you can just cut the cord and send it to God. If you want it to stay, you wrap it in a pink light, for the heart's light, and you're like allowing it to go. You detach from it, but it can come back to you when needed. Like literally, I can use that as a container to hold any information I need when I'm feeling like, oh, I really need to remember this, but I don't have a pen or paper or whatever. I can put it into that bubble, into that screen, and be like, okay, you go now. Whenever I need, come back to me. So these kind of things help, which is how our brain works, anyways, right? You make the connections when it is needed. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
another way of saying that neuron, take it, come back later, kind of thing. And then, so that's my meditation kind of part of thing. I journal a lot. I create a lot. So there are times when I auto write poems, and I use that as part of scripting, because that brings out what is actually going on inside me and makes it somewhat coherent. Very obtusely coherent. And then I paint a lot and I draw a lot. So based on how I like, my manifestations are completely driven by feelings and what I feel versus what needs to be expressed and what needs to come out, and then what I sometimes also want to include as goals. I'm so with the flow person that I have to intentionally embed goals into my life. So I then use that clarity to be like, okay, this should be my goal. People start from goal, I arrive at a goal from after all this process. I'm like, okay, this should be a goal,
Yeah.
and if this is a goal, this needs to be the action. So I need that clarity. I've tried scripting for some things. I use it like journaling, like scripting to me is like journaling. It's just a way of expression. It helps. What really helps is feeling the feeling of being it.
Yeah.
You guys, I told you guys how I manifested this house, right? Did I tell you
Yeah.
or not? It's literally a manifestation story. Like how I was just coming back from my favorite Lidl, and I literally took a different turn compared to what turn I always take. And I saw this building and I was like, huh, if I have to move out of my current house, wouldn't it be nice if I moved into this building? And I'm literally sitting here. This is the house that I saw from that turn that I'm living in now. And the whole process of getting to this house was what? Almost 3.5, 4 months, and it had so many things inside. Like I got scammed, I had to go through so many things,
Yeah.
and the second I decided, so this house is at a certain cost, and I couldn't have afforded that cost on my own. So the second I decided that I'm going to allow myself to have a housemate, second house I see is this house. Literally, like, second house I apply for is this house, the first house I see is this house, and I get this house somehow. And I didn't even get it in a very conventional way. They were like ways and turnarounds and stuff that had to happen for me to get it, but this was mine and it was just literally waiting for me to come here.
Wow.
So
So,
it is so powerful
so
in
cool.
some ways. And that also means like you just have to be in alignment to get what you need as well, right? The
Yeah.
second
I
I allowed
yeah
allowed myself to overcome that belief that I can't share a space with someone,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
yeah. It was
right?
like, and you were detached from the situation. Right? You were kind
It
of okay.
4 months and I was like, it's
But
gone.
I was just thinking, yeah, you're automatically detached from things when you're really like in, like Neville Goddard said, when you're in the end state.
Yeah.
So when you're
Already being
living
it,
it from
which
the
is
end, yeah,
fulfilled. Wish
yeah,
fulfilled. Yeah.
yeah. When you're in the wish fulfilled, yeah, sure, for sure, you are detached because you are
Yeah.
still there. You are already
You're
there.
living it already.
Yeah,
Why would you want it? Because you have it already.
yeah,
That's the thing.
There is no need to attach yourself to anything because you already are
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So I think my meditation really helps me be that because I'm already seeing it and I'm projecting it all to the screen. So I have to, in a way, bring that out as well. When I'm all my manifestations come from the state of wouldn't it be nice if.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
something I actually have it written on some post-it notes and have it in my house here. Because
Like,
I heard it in a like in a book. I think it was Ask and It Is Given from
Yeah,
Abraham
yeah,
Hicks.
a
And
lot of
I like
teachers
put
say
it on
that,
my
yeah.
wall.
yeah,
Because I did not believe that I was manifesting. But when I go back and see, I have had so many miracles happen in my life,
Yeah,
like nobody would compare and understand. But if I go back and look at what has been the common things between them, which is not an easy exercise to do, but even if I'm looking a little closely and see, it's always like, I was just like, okay, wouldn't it be nice if I was this in different forms? Like, I would like that. That would be really nice. Okay, just go about your life and do your thing.
yeah,
And like, if an opportunity emerges, grab it or something like that. And the I think the biggest thing about this is it will automatically bring to in front of you things that need to be worked upon, but you don't really have to link it back to the thing. It's very later on that you go into retrospective and you go like, okay, yeah, that's why I had to do this, that's why this bullshit happened, that's why this
yeah.
happened, that's
But
why
that's
that
yeah,
that's
happened.
very cool about it. Yeah,
You can make all the connections going back. But for me, manifestation, and I'm honestly not like a avid believer of manifestation or anything either, but I have these moments of magic where I go just, and it's literally, it honestly comes to me from my heart's desires. I can manifest things which are my heart's desires quite easily,
yeah,
apart from a couple of things which are really hard for me, but I'm still in the process of that. Like when I need those big things, it's a larger, like it's still a manifestation that's coming across, but it's a larger process of overcoming all my self beliefs and all the conditioning and stuff like that, all the stuff. But I manifest from joy. I manifest from a feeling like of already projecting that feeling from future into my now, and I manifest by intentionally clearing anything that's in my path.
yeah, yeah,
So those are my kind of things to do. So in between, sometimes I need to use affirmations. Sometimes I used to need to get the knowledge and skill from people. Sometimes I need to literally look at how the life is mirroring that situation back to me. Like one of the tools that I learned about recently was, because it was such a struggle for me to get the right house, right? I had to look at so many houses, and every house was so disgusting and stuff like that. But I learned that a house is literally a projection of what you are in your life. So every area of the house is representing something in your life.
Okay.
The outside is your environment, the home, the kitchen is the tools that you have available. The bathroom is the intimacy and the sexuality and the relationships that you are able to get, right? Your living, so that, like, your living room is a certain thing, your bedroom is a certain thing. Your bedroom is your, how do you take care of yourself, how are you, your self care and stuff like that. Your living room is a certain thing that you're projecting to the world and stuff like that. So when I was going into these areas, I might be getting that wrong, so I can get you the right list. But then I go to into house, I'm looking for a house, and in that house I see the kitchen is extremely small, there is no space at all. The bathroom is barely a shower and there's no space, and it's all dingy, and the living room is has, like, those cobwebs and stuff happening. It's immediately telling me I'm making myself small because the living space is small.
Mm.
I'm showing up as a really small person. I'm not using all the tools at my disposal. I'm short selling myself, and I'm not connecting with my intimacy and my needs as well. Immediately it tells me that, and I can see immediately the reflection in the moments. Like, sometimes you have to make yourself small when you're going to office and something happens and you're not really speaking up because whatever, you just don't, and you're
Mm.
making yourself small. And that evening I go to the house and it's showing this to me, and I'm like, why is my life so literal? I'm not ready. I love how I keep learning these things and they
Yeah.
come to me at the exact that time. Like in this house, did not have hot water for the first couple of days, and then I was talking about how my landlord was being non-responsive and stuff like that. So I started working on that with her, and she was telling me how my hot water, my intimacy was not there. The bathtub and all was not working because I was not allowing myself to warm myself, my body up. It was becoming cold and I did not have warm clothes out. So I was literally in my summer wears and I was cold the whole day. And then I did not even have warm water at the night. So I intentionally unpacked my warm wears, and the plumber showed up and the warm water showed up. Like, I'm not joking. I'm
Yeah.
literally, you will
Cool.
think like I'm creating these things, but I'm not. These are the kind of things that happen to my life. You just apply one-to-one logic and you see how the manifestation plays out. It's so cool. So, and I'm not even an avid believer in this. I just live my life in the flow. Things come to me and it
Yeah,
happens like
it's
that.
a nice way of going about it.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's really just the things just come to you,
Yeah.
right? Because when I just remember all my job changes from one hospital to the other to the practice, it was always because when I kind of ah, I needed the change. And like, yeah, when I wanted to get into the musical theater career, there was no way I'm doing all the 24-hour shifts and getting it was kind of hard, right? At the beginning, I did both parallel, like doing the 60 hours at hospital and still going to the whole dance training and everything. But at some point, I had to do more of the music training and less of the other work. And I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? I don't know how I still need to like pay my rent and everything. So how are you going to do it? And somehow I got the job offer from colleagues who left the hospital for their private practice. And I just went, oh, okay, practical. Now I
Yeah.
can do both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes it's just coming. Yeah. Because you had your
Because you
focus.
decided you wanted to. So life was
Yeah.
giving you, okay,
Yeah.
I will reward you because you're taking action in that area.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and I was saying, and I had the deep belief, okay, this is true. Like money always finds its way to me.
Yeah.
So somehow I was kind of okay. There will be a way. Don't
Yeah.
worry, you
There's
will
always
find
a
a
way.
way.
There's always
And
a
then the
way.
way just came to me. Yeah. So somehow.
Yeah.
So hopefully now again.
Yeah, it will. definitely.
Yeah,
There's no other
It's
option.
not even a question,
there's the
Than.
thing.
It's already there.
Things
Yeah,
are just going to work out. Things
I
always
mean,
work out.
it's just waiting for you.
yeah,
We are all at a threshold right now.
yeah,
Maybe this time next year we'll be listening to this podcast and going like, see? Girls, see? Remember?
yeah.
Anyway,
I feel
so
like we should use this time. I don't know if you guys want to talk about something else, but I feel personally I'm having a strong urge inside that we should at this point speak into existence something we want to manifest, each one of us, and put it out there. I don't know how you feel about this. If you
you
don't
want the
like it, we
Libra
can
to
figure
make a
it out.
decision
But
again.
like we
Let's
use
see,
that
let's
one
see.
phrase, wouldn't it be nice its version for each one of us and just say something? What do you feel? Oh,
My family and tons of money with our platform.
like you need money for family, bro. So yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Martina.
Yeah, it would be really nice if I could have a greater impact on the world, like with my true purpose, and whilst I'm traveling the world, enjoying life, and earn lots of money, so we can travel the world together
Impact.
and see each other much more often than we do
Yeah.
now in real life. I mean,
Yeah, and have the impact, right?
yeah,
Because I'm at this point, okay, at this point, I agree with Master that having money is really making so much things easier.
necessary.
Yeah, of course. You
Necessary.
can do so much more.
Because I really think, well, when it comes to our platform that we are planning now, I really think if it's just going, please just let it go big. And then so many things would just, yeah, because then I have all the money to do all the charity work I want to do.
Yeah.
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 Just give me the money.
What about you, Ankita?
Oh, yeah, for me, it would be really nice if I'm able to finally allow myself to share my life romantically with someone and I'm able to follow my purpose and like launch my coaching business successfully, do it the right way. I additionally want to make sure that I think my thing is inspiring and motivating. So I need my right platform to be able to shine and spread my message. So that needs to happen. And we need to interview BTS. I'll put that in. I really deeply feel like that's going to happen. Even the BTS bit. All of those bits.
I absolutely think everything is going to happen. I think we sometimes are too impatient,
Yeah.
because that's like a thing for me, because when I look back, I very often realize some manifestations like a year later or something like this, when like, and then it's like normal in a good way, because I'm prepared then, and then when I think back, I realized, you couldn't have done it, like you couldn't have done it 2 3 4 years ago,
Yeah.
because no, it would have like failed, like
You would have
horribly.
gotten it and you would have made yourself miserable trying to
Yeah,
keep up.
yeah,
Exactly. That's like, oh, sorry, wait. Exactly. Because actually, as I said, COVID and everything happened, but I was not ready at that time to do Miss Saigon. I wasn't. I was like, I would be now. But at that time, I was not ready.
yeah,
I
I
was,
realize.
I was still so full of doubts and everything about me as an artist at that point. I was not ready. And as when I look, like when I watch my recording tapes of all my auditionings and all my like singing today, I always go like, okay, you did great. What was your problem actually back then? But back then, I really didn't feel like I can
Yeah.
do the job.
Yeah,
Today it's different. Today I know
yeah.
I have the capacity.
So it
And
everything.
sometimes you realize you don't even want to do the job.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, or sometimes you realize don't even want to do it.
Like
Yes.
it's not supposed to be in that kind of way. Like
yeah,
those
Yeah,
same
yeah, yeah. A
skills are
different
needed
way.
somewhere else.
Yeah, a different
yeah,
way.
yeah.
And actually, today I'm also thinking about I love to be on stage,
I
but
have a
maybe
feeling,
in a
I have a
different
deep
way.
feeling emerging, Than, that you're going to be this by this time next year. You'll already have done something.
Already something on. Yeah, but I think actually something else, but not this. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
seeing
you would
myself in
have
a
done
musical
something
production,
already.
right? But something else on stage. But just not this. Oh man, I wanted my family. I'm doing everything else. But still, yeah, but it's just the way I'm feeling. Because I actually like Martina. I love to see the world as well.
Yeah.
Love to be around and
Yeah,
have
and
an
it's
impact.
it's all about divine timing, and
Mm.
I in the end, like maybe like it's the universe or God, whoever you like to name for it, knows best what's for us and what's not good for us. But we sometimes like feel we know everything, but in the end we are not intelligent enough to figure this
No.
out. So it's all about trusting.
Yeah, we still just have our human mind.
Yeah. Yeah. So, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for sticking until the end. If you're interested in manifestation and you did not listen to the episode before, so this actually was part two, there's a part one, a very cool part one. Share our podcast, like it, subscribe to it, of course, and have fun with finding your own manifestation routines. Try everything out you want to try. Leave us a comment how it is going for you. If you have the same opinion we have or a total different one, we will love to read your comments. With that being said, see you in the next episode. Have an amazing time. Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.